up, people? It's your boy Osman back again with another football podcast. You know, it's normally titled the Rival Fan Podcast, but this one is all about Fans United. Listen, first things first, we're not really going to dwell too much about the weekend's results. Just a quick congratulations to Chelsea, first and foremost. You know, got to listen. I had my Chelsea shirt. I don't have one, but I would have. But listen, Chelsea, you done me proud over the weekend, and you slapped up Porto in the week. So it's been a good week for Chelsea fans. So fair play. Obviously, you got the two Chelsea fans on board. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about corruption. No, not UEFA, the Super League. You love to see it. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Listen, let's introduce the panel. On my left, the man himself from West Ham Fan TV. He's already told me, he's taking applications and I might be applying. You'll love to see it. We got Lawless in the building. What you saying, brother?
Yeah, we're wearing the right color hoodie, you know what I mean? If you want to be joining West Ham. But no, obviously, I'm here as the representative of the Premier League teams here today, obviously, and potential future Premier League champions in a few weeks. So, yes.
Where are you at the moment? Are you 2 points off top of the table, Lawless?
No, right. if you lot get banned, we're 9 points clear.
I'm expecting to
we're 9 points clear, man.
But Leicester ain't gonna get banned. What are you talking about?
No. The reason is they're talking about if these 6 clubs gets banned, the games against them don't count. So that means none of the games against those 6 teams counts. So Leicester only have 4 games left, and we have 9 points clear. So Premier League champions 2021. Let's go.
Listen, I'm not gonna get into it, but obviously, listen. Let's move on to actual, Premier League heritage here. People will say, that they came in with the oil. But listen, for me personally, growing up, Chelsea would always be one of the best teams, even prior to the money. The likes of Zola, Good Johnson, the OGs knowing it. Gorgeous as well, football heritage is on cue and that. Hasselbank and that. You love to see it. But listen, let me introduce the 2 Chelsea boys. We got one from Eyes on the Ball, as always, Daniel. And we got the homie back here in the building. What are you saying, boys?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yes.
I mean,
Daniel, come on, man. I thought you'd be happy, man. Man's
no. I was literally just about to say, 2 days ago, we were just celebrating a great win where first time in a long time we've seen a team beat City in a different way. It wasn't just a literal counter-attack and defend. We actually popped them, in my opinion. Literally, we were playing football. And now, it might not even matter.
It's like The Rock, bro. It's like The Rock. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It definitely doesn't matter. But listen, nonetheless, you got the job done twice in more meat back, man. How are you feeling as a Chelsea fan? Of course, we're going to talk about, the corruption that's happened in the last 24 hours. But prior to that, in terms of Chelsea, man, you guys are doing well at the moment.
I think, we're playing good football. I think the Man City game, I know Pep played a weak team, but nevertheless, we beat them, I think. Like Daniel said, not worth, no point playing Man City. We know we're going to get banned from the competition, so waste of time.
Listen, it's a complete waste of time at the moment. Thank you very much, whilst I have got train finally. So
yes, you have.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have. Come on, show them, do the thing, but come on.
Listen, I don't want, as those agents said, I don't want Nizza, which is bad luck in it. Do you know what I mean? Don't want to flex too much on the haters and that. But listen, nonetheless, Gary Neville summed it perfectly for me. Leeds v Greed. I don't want to introduce you like that because it's got nothing to do with you. But nonetheless, introducing the homie, Papilo, representing Liverpool. Yes, brother, what you saying, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Look, listen, Gary Neville is getting on to the top 6 clubs. All I'm going to say is the other clubs should get the money up. Usman, to be fair,
I agree.
I just wanted to provide some balance, but I'm good. Like I was saying off camera, were played in an hour, and this is probably one of the first times that Liverpool have played, and I don't really care. So I know we're gonna get into it, but this ESL thing, man, it's annoying.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Obviously, we're going to go into a lot of detail regarding that. Listen, last but not least, the homies, Baka actually, to be fair, is a huge Barcelona fan, so he might take insults. Baka, I want to get your perspective. He's disconnected. He's going to take an insult. My man thought I allowed this, but listen, we got Xavi and Xavi in the building. What we saying, boy?
Wait, hold on. No. Don't do that.
What's up?
Don't do that.
Why? What's wrong with Xavi, man?
I just gassed up your trim, and you want to take us from Iniesta to Xavi?
Listen, don't disrespect Xavi, man. But listen, we got Iniesta times 2, aka 3 in midfield. Kojo and KL. What we saying, boys?
Yeah, feeling wonderful. Well, actually, I like to say wonderful. I'm not feeling wonderful because my team's part of this ESL nonsense, but. Other than that, the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it? So,
no. Kojo, reword it. The team's at the root cause.
Yep.
Yo, honest to God,
innocent little Chelsea have just been, taken along for the ride and didn't really want to do it.
Blame the Americans. Blame the Americans.
Says the West Ham fan, he's gonna take the Premier League with open arms if they give it to him.
What do you mean? I'm just saying, like, that's what you're trying to put out. Like, Chelsea didn't really want to do it. It was just the bigger clubs and took us there.
Dan, the Premier League this year is going to be a handout if you get it. You don't want that, man. You don't.
Yes,
nah, mate.
What are you talking about?
Leicester are still a bigger club than him.
Daniel, I'm going to go to the stadium when they lift the trophy and be the biggest West Ham supporter.
Parades all day long.
I've already got my colours on, Kojo.
You broke the rules. You broke the rules. So because of the rules break, all your clubs, the Premier League rules. Yeah.
What about Old?
No, there's rules. There's rules against us in the Prem. Let's talk about it on Talk.
We'll get into it.
Well, let's get into it.
Just listen. Just talk with a bit of respect when you talk to Premier League champions. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Respect in the voice. Football heritage is coming to East London.
Yeah, man. I might as well find We might as well find the Blackburn fan to join us because their heritage is well.
And the Liverpool fan. Oh wait, Pappy's there. Don't worry, man.
Listen, Pappy's here, bro. But listen, look, for me personally, if I was Spurs, I would allow it. It might actually have a chance of winning a trophy to stay because I've got a chance in Super League. Kish, your team's going to take smoke, and it is what it is. But let's get into it. Obviously, everyone knows what the Super League is. I'm not going to go into detail explaining, the basics of it because I'm pretty sure everyone in the dark knows what it is at the moment, given how long it's been. But no, let's start with Loris, actually, because you're at the top, in terms of Premier League and obviously the image as well. Let's go. Let's talk Super League. What is your initial thoughts when you heard the news and obviously what's happened, so to speak?
Yeah, obviously, this is something that we've been hearing about rumblings of for ages now. They've been trying to get this off the ground. They've been trying to make changes, trying to get themselves automatically into the Champions League, these clubs, because they can't finish there. They can't get there through merit. So that's been going on for a while. And then when it hit last time, the announcements coming, I was like, whoa. And to me, as a fan of, another club that's not one of these clubs, it's disgusting because they're just trying to take our dreams away because that's what it will be. They will not be able to dream of.
What are those dreams, though? Let's fight for 8.
The dreams of being able to. No, I'm saying the fact that Leicester. Look at Leicester. Leicester showed what can be done. Blackburn showed what can be done. Any team on their year can dream of winning that league or getting into the Champions League or anything, yeah. And you guys want to lock it up and be like, no. This is going to be for us. You guys just go and help, feed us some games.
I got to say something. Hold on, I got to interject. Are we seriously going along this narrative that the Premier League is a meritocracy?
What? We got to expand on that.
So you're trying to tell me that every team that's won the Premier League hasn't been one of the richest clubs in the Premier League? Leicester.
But what I'm saying is
Leicester are literally billionaires.
Yeah, but when you look at Leicester, they didn't spend hundreds and hundreds of millions to get that team to win the league. Every team's got money, but what I'm saying is it's going to take the competitiveness out of it even more, because those teams are going to have super money that we're not going to have access to. Then you're going to have automatic European promotion and all this like closed off competition. Talking about like killing off the Champions League. It's just going to kill it off. So like for the rest of us, what are we going to be in this league for? Really?
I might be wrong, yes, obviously, but I'm just free to correct me, lads. Does that not mean that teams like West Ham, Leicester, these teams, for example, Southampton, whatever, because they can't go into the Super League, would they qualify for the Champions League then automatically? If they're in a certain position, surely that would happen.
But they would have to then, that'd be weird, because then they'd have to drop the Champions League qualifying positions below 6th. Then you'd have to have from 7th.
It'd have to be just the first top 4 teams after the
I imagine,
Yeah. That's dumb. And then what? You're gonna have these teams out of the Champions League, right? So no one's so all of our possibility of playing.
Champions League now, though.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know if they're going to win the Champions League. I very much doubt it. But what I'm saying is,
unless you face Bayern Munich,
no. But that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is, we're going to go into the Champions League. So no possibility to play like a Barca on a Champions League night and all of that. Like the whole competition. It's just going to kill off the competition, really, of the Champions League, because you're not there playing with the best, because they've all decided to take their ball and go home and play their own little game. Like, that's the problem. It will just be the Premier League will be dead if they get one. It will be so dead if that happens, honestly.
So you agree that the Premier League will be dead?
No, the Premier League will be dead if they're allowed to stay. If they're allowed to have their Super League and stay in the Prem.
So
that's how the Premier League will be
top
dead.
6 removed then,
because
I was going to say if I want the top 6 removed, if they're going to go ahead with the Super League, right? So how I want it, and right I'm going to present an alternative to removal. But
whoever's got an objection, obviously jump in whenever you want.
No, the reason why I know Daniel obviously has, but the reason why I want them removed, because that is the only way for us, as the rest of our fans, to be able to go forward and enjoy this league and be able to have a good competitive league. And like people are saying, like Daniel was saying, like, the Premier League would cease to exist without these 6 teams. No, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. It is nonsense, because look at it this way. Look at it this way. Okay, how does rugby league don't get all of these views that Premier League gets? It don't get all of them views, but it exists. It exists, and you're acting like no. But let's not act like it wouldn't still get hundreds of millions of views.
Dan, one sec, because obviously, like I can't be here for the whole thing in it, but
tell me why it would be.
Listen. What I'm trying to basically break down is, and I'm gonna try and do it as like floor level as possible, bro. Fam, we're not coming from a place of arrogance, like, oh, we support the big clubs, so these small clubs can't survive. Genuinely, if it was possible and it logically made sense, if the numbers added up, then yes, of course it can happen. And no one would be saying that without these 6 big clubs, that it can't happen. One thing you have to understand is that the reason why these clubs are even moving away from UEFA is because remuneration revenue that is being made by these clubs isn't being distributed fairly back to these clubs. So now there's been an alternative where
I disagree with that point.
I'm literally explaining why.
You haven't told me why it's not going to exist, and why the league can't run.
Get in there. Let me cook.
3 minutes. Let
me cook at least. Just if we wanna fully understand. Let me cook.
Land. That's you landed.
But yes, so you have to understand the root cause of what's it called? Real Madrid and all these clubs trying to get everyone to break away, first of all. Second of all, there's no coincidence that Arsene Wenger said back in the day when he was doing the interview, basically alluding to the idea of the European Super League, that the key to the European Super League was getting the Big Six or the Big Four really to detach themselves away from the Premier League because of the pool power that they have. England is the biggest league. And because of that pool power that they have, if they are to separate themselves, then it basically has a knock-on effect for everything else. Now you get to the TV rights and everything to do with broadcasting. What clubs are shown basically every week on Saturday and Sunday on Sky Sports? And you must see one of those clubs every single week.
Yeah,
as in there's not one week where I don't see either one of Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Man City. Bro, it's no disrespect to West Ham. But
prior to the pandemic as well.
Exactly. There's no disrespect to West Ham or any of the clubs in the league, but we don't see them every week on TV. They're not shown every week on TV, and that's facts. That's not even anything against your club, but that's just the truth. How many times do we genuinely sit down and watch even the most exciting of non-Big Six games? West Ham Leicester is only a relevant game because they're both competing for the top 4 with all our other clubs. So you're telling me if our clubs now leave the Premier League, we're going to sit down and watch West Ham v Leicester? It's not true. That's not true. And
wait a minute, this comes from the guy who says he watches Italian football, French football. You watch all these other dead leagues.
No, but Dan, you watch all these dead leagues around the world. No, Dan. I'm about to defend you. Lawless. The thing is, you're attacking Dan specifically.
Exactly.
I'm not.
But what he means is we, as in like as a collective.
When I say we, we're talking about I watch all the other leagues. Everyone else.
I'll watch West Ham. I'll watch me personally because I love football. I'll watch it.
Yeah, you would. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna sit down.
I don't know football. I won't watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but less people will watch. I agree. Less people will watch. That is true. Okay, but there will still be millions of people watching because guess what? Between us, Newcastle, Everton, Aston Villa, all the other clubs, we still have millions of fans worldwide that would want to watch. Of course, it wouldn't be as much, and maybe the money will be less. But that's still, when you look at ratings and revenue, right? You look at other TV shows, you look at flipping Love Island or whatever. They would still get bigger views than that.
All right, cool. You're not understanding what I'm saying, so I'm just gonna make it even more simpler, bro.
You're not saying
wait, one sec. Why do we watch the Premier League? Because we want to see the best players, right? Are the best players, once we leave the Big Six clubs, gonna go to West Ham, Leicester, and all these clubs? Are they? No, they won't.
They won't.
Wait.
Oh my god!
I mean, just link us there.
Let's talk about the ban, though. Talk about the ban. World Cup. If you can't play World Cup, if you can't play international football, if you go to this Super League, there's a chance that you're going to be looking to then go and stay and work the Prem.
Dan, West Ham buying Neymar? Can West Ham afford the likes?
It's not even that.
But we don't even see Neymar in the Prem. You don't see Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe. We don't even see the best players in the Prem.
Can West Ham afford Harry Kane, Aguero? Who are the best players in the Premier League?
Just Lingard.
You could. I don't even think.
Yeah, but then you develop players come through.
You wouldn't play these players, and it's even less so about the club, West Ham, Brighton, and all these others. It's more so about sponsors. Why would a sponsor look at the Premier League and not see the biggest clubs in the Premier League there and still say they want to sponsor?
Because
and back
it's about ratings. It's about ratings. If you're getting millions,
Dan, okay, cool. You want to use the Love Island example. The reason why, because in production and in TV, the reason why a TV show gets cancelled is because it drops in ratings. Dropping from 3 million views to 1 million views can cause a show to be cancelled. 1 million views is still seen as a lot of views, but the fact that the drop-off is so large and so big,
it's going to be hard, man.
Everything gets cancelled.
They know why. They know why. They will expect there to be a... No, but they'll expect there to be a drop-off, obviously. But let's be real.
Can I ask one question?
What is going to be higher rated then?
One question.
Moderate.
One question. Because obviously I know Daniel literally needs to go, hence why I'm letting him talk in it. So in terms of what you're saying, Lola, it's like I hear your point, right? Of course, there still will be viewership. Of course, it's in there. But what Daniel is saying is the viewership is going to be significantly lower without the Big Six. I'm just going to throw this out here as a flippant comment, obviously, so take it the picture solid.
Not enough to defunct the league.
No, but is the Premier League without the top 6? And again, this might be very disrespectful. Just a glorified Scottish league, like no banter. Like
no, it's more of a Scottish league when the best teams are in it, and if you get the money. What's the Scottish League? 2 teams running the show season upon season with no competitiveness. Yeah.
What did you and Kish say to me in the chat?
No, but I'm saying that's what will happen.
I said there's only 2 teams. Everyone's in the chat. I said there's only 2 teams, and you and Kish said it's more competitive now. I said back in the day it was.
No, but that's a different. That's a different.
You just said it's.
I'll explain that.
No, you've just said it.
But listen, on that, right, what Daniel's saying, right, I'll get to that. But on what Daniel's saying, right, yes, there will be... I'm saying the league won't suddenly be defunct. Like there was
No,
football
of course it
before
won't.
all of this
Man,
money.
no one's saying it will happen. What I'm basically saying is that it's a long-term thing. It's not gonna. Of course, the league can still say they want to carry on, and next season they'll have a season, and maybe they'll lose views. It's about the knock-on effect. It's going to be something in the making. It's not going to happen after a year. I'm not saying that. It could even happen after 10 years, but it will not be sustainable to have West Ham be the biggest club in football, especially the yo-yo type.
Look at Chelsea. Chelsea weren't big before back in the day. Man City weren't big, and now all
What changed it? What changed it? What changed it?
An injection of large money.
Exactly. The money that you're not going to have.
All right, but look at Man United. Look at Arsenal. They didn't get big injections. They got up there by continually winning. Liverpool as well. They didn't get rich super buyouts.
But they were the richest clubs in the league.
No, even if you wanted to say that they sustained, and that's the trap that you're falling into, sustained success. How do the Premier League offer the prize money for winning the title to those teams? Where do they get that money from?
Yeah, but this is the thing. What I'm saying is there will be less money. There will be less money.
No. Think about it. Think about it like this. West Ham win the league, when all the big six clubs go. There's a pot fund of £10 million to give as prize money. They give that to West Ham for 1 year for winning the Premier League. But there's a loss of rating. So next year, the prize money has to just be deducted so that funds can be applied into other areas.
You're going to have a wage cap as well, man. There's going to be a lot of
one sec. So it can be provided into other areas. So winning the Premier League now, the prize money then gets reduced by 7 million. If the prize money gets reduced by 7 million, people are going to realize, oh, cool. Is it going to be continued? That are people going to enjoy watching this football? Ratings reduce again, so prize money needs to be reduced again, so that funds can be allocated into other areas. It's not going to be an initial thing after 1 year, but what I'm saying is, it will not be sustainable. That's the point.
Yeah, but the whole thing is you change how football works. We've all been saying that there's too much money in football. Money is ruining the game. So now we get to have a reset. Now we can focus on more homegrown players.
It's not reset, man. It's not
no, but that's what we're talking about. Like, you're not going to say that, football is going to be dead in 10, 20 years. At the same time like I said, these other sports still go on. Darts, snooker, rugby, flipping cricket. They don't get a fraction of the views, and they still wouldn't get as much views.
No, but here's the thing about cricket. You said cricket. How many millions of people more watch the IPL than they do Test cricket? Test cricket is a dying format because of the money that the IPL has bought into the.
That's what the IPL is. Yeah, exactly. Ruined.
You can pretty much say T20 cricket is what everybody wants to watch nowadays, and that's because of the money they've injected into the IPL.
Without a
doubt. Away.
Yeah, but it's all these other sports. I'm saying these other sports still go on despite not having anywhere near the viewership.
You're saying the Premier League will die the year the big six clubs leave.
No, but I'm saying it won't ever die. It won't.
Nobody. I don't think maybe it might not die, but it won't be as competitive. You have the same amount of money, the same amount of resources, the same amount of viewership. Sorry, competitive is the wrong word, but the same. Just think about all the intangibles that go into creating a league. It won't have that same knock-on effect. That's what
I don't know why you guys supported your team, right? But let me tell you why I supported my team, and a lot of the fans of my club.
Here we go.
We didn't support our team to see. I'm being real. We didn't support our team to see the best, sexiest, attractive player. We had a connection with our club. We would go and watch our club.
And I just bandwagon.
I'm not saying no, but I'm saying based on what you're
not saying that. He's just saying no, right?
No. It's man.
I'm not trying to say. What I'm saying is like that. It might be the same for you, but I'm saying when we have that connection with our club, we don't care about all of them other things. We want football back to be.
Dan, and that is what you just said. This was the last point because I'm off. Last point.
I want to get everyone else's thoughts.
Oh yeah. I haven't been fair. 20 minutes. It's true. I'm even off, so I can shut my trap anyway. But what you just said is at the very root of what we all believe. We all want football to come back. No one's disagreeing with that. We're just saying, realistically and logistically, when it comes to resources and finances, it's just not going to be fruitful or tangible. It's just not going to be possible. But cheers.
Right, okay. Daniel, absolute pleasure as always. Obviously, let us know who won the debate.
See you later, man.
All right, okay, listen, let's get popular. All right, I can call you Daniel now because obviously Daniel's gone. Right, okay, let's get your thoughts. Obviously, seeing that you were on Lawless' side, where do you sit on the whole matter? Obviously, with what they were discussing, what's your perspective on the situation?
I'm on the fence, and I'm on the fence because I agree with Lawless. I'm against the Super League, me personally.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm actually not the whole concept of the Super League. I'm not against it. I'm against the fact that the teams, the founding members, get to be there year in, year out. That's what I'm against. Because
For 23 years.
Yeah, if there was an announcement, last night that there's a new league where the 20 best teams in Europe are going to go at it year in, year out, but teams have to qualify for it, there wouldn't be this uproar. But the fact that these teams get to be in the year in, year out, I'm against it.
Wouldn't that just be a Champions League then? If teams would have to qualify, it'd be the
it would.
The format would change, innit?
It would, yeah. The format would change. The thing that annoys me is that there's Dan B said it, and there's this perception that the big clubs are annoyed at UEFA because they haven't been getting a slice of the pie. Look, let's break down that statement. Look at the teams in the Super League. AC Milan. What was the last time they were in the Champions League? So they're not getting no slice of the pie at the moment. Zero. Zilch. Inter Milan, zilch. Even Liverpool, my club. I love Liverpool, but we won the league for the first time in 30 years, and we're acting as if we've been the biggest team in England for the last 30 years. There was a period where between Rafa Benitez and Brendan Rodgers, we weren't even sniffing the Champions League. The English team, they can't talk about the slice of the pie because between 2012 and 2019, no English team got near winning the Champions League. So this whole argument of the big clubs are annoyed about the slice of the pie, I'm sorry, that argument only applies to Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich, who are not in it. And Bayern Munich will be in it. I don't
100%.
Bayern Munich will be in it. So for me,
I don't think so.
They will be in it.
They will.
You don't think Arsenal are annoyed about the whole slice of pie thing because their revenues obviously. No, it's true.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean.
Don't forget Tottenham.
But the thing is, guys, if I read it, I'm like, wait, hold on, let me go through the teams, and literally, there's only 2 teams out of 12 that can actually say that. Every other team can't. We're knocked out of the quarterfinals. So I think
Liverpool can, to be honest. I hate Liverpool with the passion. You won it 6 times, and I think you get. And I think AC Milan. I know they haven't done it recently, and they've fallen off. But I can't begrudge AC Milan because
Usman
up of a similar age.
Usman, unpack what you just said. Liverpool have won it 6 times. However, the UEFA Champions League has only paid out a large amount of money when it became the UEFA Champions League, when it became 32 teams. This was back in the 90s. Since then, we've only won the Champions League twice. AC Milan have not won the Champions League in 14 years, if my memory serves me correct. So yes, they have pedigree. Yes, they have pedigree. Yes, they're a big club. Yes, I respect them. But at the moment, at this present point in time, with what they're doing on the pitch, they have absolutely no divine right to be amongst their league. And for me, it's annoying that they pretend like they have a divine right. So that's my thought on it. I'll shut up now and let people talk.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I didn't go for AC Milan personally. I went straight for Tottenham and Arsenal.
They've been getting roasted all day on Twitter.
Bro, I had a Tottenham fan reply to me. Listen to this, lad. I had a Tottenham fan. I said, "Why are Tottenham in it? What have they done to Arsenal? They've competed to somewhat, but even Arsenal shouldn't be in it. But Tottenham, why are Tottenham in it?" And I had a Tottenham fan reply to me, "Well, we won it in 1972." Like, shut up, man. That's literally what they replied to me on Twitter. I'm not even joking.
So I guess we should bring back Red Star Belgrade and Nottingham Forest and them as well, isn't it?
I replied saying Nottingham Forest have done it more than you. So what are you talking about? And Tottenham Europa League. They didn't win the Champions League. So,
Usman,
what are your thoughts, bro, on the whole situation, man?
We've got much more to lose. So this ESL that they call it, that you guys will lose the treble that you won in 1999. We'll lose the Champions League. What's Spurs going to lose? Audi Cup.
Oh, yeah. They're talking. They're talking about stripping the honours as well, isn't it?
Won't happen.
It's the right.
It won't happen.
I'm not going to lie. They should strip down.
I want to do it just so Arsenal fans can't go. But is yours gold? but is yours gold?
Yeah.
Whole thing will be.
But Dan, hold on. Where is yours?
Oh!
It's coming. It's
Hey.
coming. It's coming. Be patient. Few weeks
Caleb,
now.
tell him,
Few weeks.
tell him.
Few weeks. Then we'll be the only. I'll be the only person on here with a Premier League trophy because yours we'll have ours. So don't you worry.
Oh my God, we'll have to share the title of the bloody shows. But listen, I want to read something out, right? Look, I've got a lot of notes regarding certain things I kind of want to dwell on, but because Coach is the next person to talk, I need to read this out. We will talk about it in more detail tomorrow's podcast. But honest to God, I saw this, Man United related. I saw this on Twitter. I'm sure most of you seen it now. MUFC want to stay in the Premier League with Super League fixtures scheduled for midweek. If the Super League is unable to start in time for next season,
Ridiculous.
Manchester United will want to compete in the Champions League.
Ridiculous.
Kojo, what are your thoughts, mate? Because I was quite fast, I can't say what I said. I'm fasting. Put it that way. Kojo, what are your thoughts, mate, on that matter?
That's an embarrassing statement to make, you know. That's actually embarrassing. How can you sign this thing which Daniel did point out that we are at the root of this because everything with JP Morgan screens Woodward and the Glazers anyway.
This is your opportunity to drag Ed Woodward as well, because I would really want you to.
I will drag him. I'll drag him in my sleep, bruv. Don't worry about that.
I hate that guy, but
everything about it stinks. But you can't tell these guys that we're gonna be part of this Super League. You cannot leave the ECA and then come and say, oh, by the way, though, however, if it doesn't start. Can we come back into the Champions League? It's bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. You can't walk back into the Champions League after saying that you're not going to compete in it from next year. For the next 23 years.
Shall I tell you what that is, lads? And again, this is the first analogy that comes to mind. That's like leaving your missus, right? Finding another missus and saying, no, what, if it doesn't work out in 6 months, I'll come back to you. Is that all right?
I'll come back. Yeah.
That's like Jose Mourinho and Chelsea.
We'll get into Jose. I know you don't like Jose,
but
do you know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Like,
it's laughable, but this is what has happened now, and this is the kind of power that United have, and all these other clubs are trying to use that power. They're trying to say, listen, you can talk about excluding us, you can talk about doing this and doing that, but who's going to watch Champions League without us? He's going to watch Champions League without Real Madrid and those guys in this thing. Yeah. And this is where, like, what Dan was saying. For me, if I was the Premier League and UEFA, cool. If it comes to a beating and you're like, you know what, you men are not going to be in these competitions next year, I would start to up the ante, because what they need to do now is compete. They need to compete heavy. They need to compete hard. So, yes, look, West Ham are not as big, nowhere near as big as Manchester United, for example. But there's a time for you to now say, okay, you know what, in that case, we're going to see who wins the Premier League, who competes for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. Try and build it up, and then try and make these guys a new power, because they have been saying that based on, I think, achievements throughout a season or a couple of seasons, you will see who qualifies for the next year of the European Super League or so on and so forth. So if they were to build a West Ham, for example, if West Ham won the Premier League 3 years in a row, and you're building them, they're making more and more money each year, week in and week out, on TV every weekend. They start to pay big money for players as well. You start to put more money into the Champions League. So players start thinking about competing for both sides, not just thinking, Super League's just more money, so I'm out there. Make them compete. Let them really go at it so that you become just as lucrative and as attractive as the European Super League, and then go toe-to-toe. And if West Ham were to qualify 1 year for the European Super League and slap people in that league, you've achieved what you wanted to achieve. I think, though, they're so rattled by this.
But Culture, for me personally, right, this is just me thinking on the spot. I think if I was UEFA, I would be like, you know what, go on then, piss off. We're going to show you why the Champions League is more, of a prestigious award.
They want to do that.
Why are they leaving though? The only reason these teams are leaving is because of money. So why not the UEFA Champions League? Start putting more money. Don't let them teams back in and start giving more money to teams like West Ham and these teams so they can start competing, or the teams of Leicester and that kind of thing. Because at the moment, the money is the only thing that's driving these guys. There's no.
Can I make a controversial point?
Go on.
Do you know who also has to take some of the blame for this happening? We do. The reason why I say that is because we have allowed these owners to get away with nonsense.
Oh, it was Man United fans having a tell you now.
No, not Man United fans, Liverpool fans. Kojo, how many times have I complained to you about John W. Henry? But then I'll still buy a shirt. I'll still watch Liverpool, and so everyone. Usman, I've seen Usman tweet so many times about how much of a waste Man United Woodman is.
I'm not one Man United kid the whole season, you know.
Glazers. No, you haven't. But the thing is, deeper. One of your Twitter pages is Usman United. You've dedicated a Twitter page.
Usman Talks United.
Talks United.
Get it right, man. Get it right.
No, Usman Talks United. So, like, we give these teams attention. We give these teams money. We are the consumers, and we allow these owners to be like, you know what? Let's see how much we can push it. And they've been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and this has happened. Like, I'm not saying we're totally to blame, but we have to show the part of the blame as well.
I hear that. I do hear that. Back, let's get your thoughts regarding the situation. Obviously, I had to get a tweet for Chelsea, and Tuchel has come out and said his piece on the matter. To be quite front and honest with you, we'll touch on managers shortly. I think that's a different topic. But this tweet, I think Lawler's kind of alluded to earlier in a joke. I'm going to read it word for word. Obviously, I can't remember which journalist it was. Chelsea and Man City were very much, and quote unquote, backed into a corner by the American-owned English clubs to accept the Super League proposal. Neither club owners needed additional money. Well, we know that, Oil FC. The threat of being left behind was central to their names being added. Baka, what are your thoughts on, suppose it's Chelsea and Man City here?
What kind of bullshit is that? Sorry.
Bullshit, bro.
Bullshit, what are your thoughts? I'm just going to turn my light on. You guys keep talking, yeah?
I think they haven't been backed into the corner. I think greed's taken over. Chelsea don't need money. Abramovich has got money coming in all the time, and we don't even know about it. And Man City have got unlimited money. So I just think it's greed. There's been no fans, and they thought we're going to make a lot of money. But also, I think there must have been discussion amongst the players, and the players know what's coming. And I know there's a lot of cons about it, but if your manager said to you guys, turn up to work twice a week, you get paid more, we'll all say, yeah, won't we? We won't question it. Because money speaks louder than anything in this day and age, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a valid point in terms of the individual money. Like, for me personally, right, and I'm just going to say this from my perspective. Look, in terms of the Chelsea and Man City thing, that is absolutely bullshit. Like, absolute utter BS. How can Chelsea, man, let's just use a scenario, right? Let's say Chelsea and Man City say no in it because they don't agree with it, okay? Chelsea and Man City have said no. Bayern Munich and Dortmund, hypothetically, in fact, Dortmund have actually said no. We know they have. Bayern Munich realistically will say no because they're...
Bayern have said no in the last couple of minutes.
Thank you very much.
No, Bayern, they were in negotiations, like...
But Bayern are fan-owned, so they're not going to say, yeah...
It's 51%, yeah. So that's
yeah,
okay.
So that's why they're not going to even be allowed to say. PSG have said no because of the Qatar World Cup. Again, own personal reasons, but I couldn't give a shit because it's the right decision nonetheless. So that means 5 teams automatically even out of the initial 15 that they planned. So they would have written a list of 15 teams, which obviously Daniel's already read out. So 5 of those teams, so a third of the teams that they wanted in have said no. That doesn't really give them a great power because that means they're making up 10 teams that don't really want to be there. So half of the teams in there aren't really meant to be there. Spurs are shit. Arsenal, with all due respect, aren't brilliant. Man United are nothing special. So that's another 3
AC Milan.
AC Milan are nothing special. Inter Milan, okay, fair enough. You can count them in. So that's another 4 teams.
Yeah.
But Atletico Madrid on the decline as well. I'd put Atletico Madrid in that category as well.
But that's another 4 teams that aren't super. So because Man United definitely don't fall in that category anymore. As you said, Atletico Madrid are kind of on the fringes. So that's another 5 teams. So realistically, you've only got 5 teams that are good. And Bayern and PSG are currently the best 2 in Europe. And they're not in it. So, like, obviously Real Madrid as well. But for me personally, it only takes Ronaldo or Messi to come out and say, I'm not doing it. And it's going to change. It'll change a lot of the perspective. Okay, people will say players don't have power. Of course they don't in these situations. But if Ronaldo came out and said, yo, Wagwan, like, I'm not doing this, what are Juventus going to do then? Like, they can't just get rid of Ronaldo. Like, even if they got rid of Ronaldo,
they've been trying though. They've been trying.
I know, but who's Ronaldo going to go to? Because he can't go to any of those big superpowers in Europe because none of them in. Realistically,
he's going to West Ham. He's joining West Ham.
Usman, you're forgetting these super teams are about to become hella rich, so they can all afford what's his face, Cristiano Ronaldo. Before today, sacking Jose Mourinho wasn't possible because of how expensive it would have been to sack him. And now ESL gets announced tomorrow. They're gonna get 400 million. Monday morning, he's gone.
I love that, man. That's kind of snaked him hard, but I know Baka loved that. But in terms of what you're saying, look, I'm not saying Ronaldo. I'm just using him as an example because of who he is, innit? I'm not saying Ronaldo wouldn't stay for the money. But what I'm saying is, the question is, do the players have some responsibility now, as a fan, as they claim to be, to step up and say X, Y, and Z? Do they have any power in saying it? Kale, we'll come to you first and foremost. What do you reckon?
No, they're under contract. Unless these teams,
so you don't think an exodus of players will deter them from thinking, "Oh shit, what have we done here?" If a lot of
but which player is going to potentially turn down a pay rise? I don't think I would personally. I don't think any of us here would personally turn down a pay rise if it meant playing elite teams week in, week out.
Do you think the World Cup and Euros would be a factor?
They can't play the World Cup or the Euros.
No, but here's the thing. I feel like that's all nonsense. I feel that's FIFA and UEFA puffing out their chest saying, no, you can't. If you're not playing with our toys, you can't play at all. The simple fact of the matter is, FIFA and UEFA need these players in these tournaments. They need it financially and they need it aesthetically as well. These players are why people tune in to Europa's Europa. What's it?
No, we've still got Leeds. You know, they'll be fine.
That's why they tune into the World Cup. It's why they tune into the Euros. They want to see the best players perform and for their countries to win the ultimate prizes.
But Usman, to answer your question, the reason why I don't think players will leave is because a lot of nonsense has been happening. UEFA allow fans to make monkey noises at black players 3 times in a game. Black players have come out and talked about how much of a joke UEFA's policies are, but yet black players will still compete in the Champions League. They'll still compete in the Euros.
That's a good point.
Norway are against Qatar hosting the World Cup. What did Norway do? They thought it was a bright idea to wear a shirt before they play in a qualifying game, saying that we don't agree with it. I don't think these players.
They played it though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, of course they played it. Of course they played. Because Haaland wants to play in the World Cup. Odegaard wants to play in the World Cup. So like,
but that's the thing. They want to play. That's what I'm saying. They want to play this. If you ban them, I disagree slightly with Kat. I think to a degree, obviously, the good players do help. But I think the actual World Cup itself is... No, I think it's the actual World Cup itself is the attraction to see it's the competition to see all of these different countries.
League one and League 2 players.
But tell me this, right? If you got Nigeria in the World Cup, is everyone in Nigeria going to watch the World Cup, regardless of if they're playing against Ronaldo, Messi, whoever else?
They're not. They're going to. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, but they all right. Wait, no, but they've been in the before.
Yeah.
Like flipping Japan, England, like the nations are still going to watch the World Cup if their country is in it because they want to see their country in the World Cup. So that pool is still going to be there. People don't care about what teams are in it. They're passionate about their country.
Do you think, Lawless, the way people watch football or watch teams now is changing differently? Because you think about team support, people are now looking more at players than teams. So people follow players to other teams because they want to watch that player. Many Real Madrid fans that followed Ronaldo went to Juventus. Juventus spoke about their social media boosting in seconds, their viewership boosting in seconds because Ronaldo went there. If Ronaldo's not playing for Portugal, João Felix is a fantastic player. Bernardo Silva's a fantastic player.
Hello.
Bruno Fernandes is a fantastic player.
But so you don't think the whole of yeah, but he's going to retire anyway, Ronaldo.
He will, but they don't have a superstar to replace him.
Yeah, but do you think they only watch? Do you think Portuguese, the majority of Portugal will only watch their country in the World Cup if there's a superstar. No, they
There's
want
a
to
lot
see.
of fans change. There's a lot of fans that do that. There are a lot of fans that do that. There are a lot of fans that care more about players now.
Look, let's look at Brazil 2002, and in terms of shirt sales, are you telling me if that Brazil had no Ronaldo, no Ronaldinho, no Rivaldo, no Cafu, no whoever,
Carlos.
you think millions of people worldwide would have bought their shirts, would have cut their hair like Ronaldo?
Yeah, but that's
Absolutely
the shirts.
not.
I'm talking about the viewership, and
That's-
and then
I
think
agree
about.
with
But you know,
imagine.
watching R9. Who you watching?
But imagine if those guys weren't in there. The next heroes gets made. No, but that's what I'm saying. If they're not in the way, then the next players come up and they get to be heroes for their country. They get to bang in the goals.
The next hero would have been Wagner Love.
Yeah,
Wagner Love.
Now, Lola, the reason why I disagree with the next hero thing is because you also have to think about why the World Cup became such a big thing. The World Cup was the only competition people could watch on TV, so that's when they could watch these players. So it built up a reputation. It built up a reputation, and now the reputation is now sky high. However, now there's a new league where we get to see all the best players playing against each other year in, year out. For people like me and you, the World Cup is still at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
But people younger than me,
Yeah.
the ESL.
I'm going to assume we all have family in other countries, right? So
Yeah,
I've got family in Ireland. You guys probably have family in different countries. Do you think like your cousins or whatever in those other countries would stop watching that country in the World Cup if they weren't elite players?
I agree with Lawless. I'm not going to lie, and I'll give you an example. I'm sure Back will be able to relate to me. Pakistan cricket team, yeah, one of the shittest teams, up and down. There's been. Listen, I love that team, yeah. I used to wake up at 3 a.m. We used to have some.
It's been a bit of a rejuvenation.
Oh, listen, we used to have some shitters playing, yeah, but I would watch them have the flag out, man would get the samosas ready, the food would be ready. 3 a.m. I didn't give a shit how crap that team was, but I would cheer them on in that World Cup, yeah, like I was watching Shrey Banton, what can't do this back in there.
Here's the thing.
It's bigger than players. Do you know what I mean?
Wait. But go on, let Kel go.
Here's the thing. You would if Pakistan had a whole bunch of players that were top quality, top of the world in their field, and they all just said, no, we're bouncing, we're not playing this, and you had to watch a whole bunch of duds like you've been watching recently back then, would the allure still be there, or would you be like, why should I watch?
I hear that. To be honest with you, I was on your guys' side of the fans, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, but the point that Lawless made, and I agree with him, right? If you use Nigeria as an example, or any team that who realistically know that they're gonna get slapped up, let's just say, I don't know, let's just use
Iran.
Poland. Let's use Poland, innit? Man's got Lewandowski, but apart from that, they know they're gonna get kicked out unless they're playing England, obviously. They know they're gonna get kicked. They're gonna get kicked out every World Cup. But their fans will watch it. They get the flags out, they get the family around, regardless of how shit their team is, so to speak, compared to the France or the Brazil. To them, it doesn't matter. And to me, as someone who's been there with Pakistan, who never expect to win anything, because Australia and West Indies and all South Africa and all these powerhouses are there with all the bad boy players. I've watched it still because you have that hope. You still have that hope,
and there'll be more hope when you think about it. If all of these elite players there'll be more hope that they can win.
But isn't the allure of the World Cup that the elite players from the elite countries go to a tournament with the hopes that any one of them can win this World Cup?
And this is the point, because
I'm not saying that overnight the viewer figures would decline. I'm not saying that at all. But over time, I think it will.
For me, it's never been about players. It's always been about the event and seeing who win it, and always looking for the underdog to try and.
Look at China, man.
Lawless, that's us. I'm talking about the younger generation where you see the change in the way they watch football now. Because I talk about, I support Ghana, I don't support England, but when the Euros come, I'll go to the pub and I'll be watching with England. I'll be singing all the songs because I want England to win. Yeah. I don't care about whether Raheem Sterling's on the pitch or not. I don't care if it's Raheem Sterling or flipping.
But in Ghana, if you go to Ghana, because I think like the mindset is a lot in this country, kids in this country. But if you go to Ghana, kids growing up in Ghana, do you not think that they would pack out everywhere to watch Ghana?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. These are smaller nations.
I think it's an English.
I'm not trying to disrespect the smaller nations because their passion is unrivaled. I love the fact that Ghana will have everyone now. to watch these games. Because when we were in the World Cup in South Africa, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy here for Ghanaians
Honestly.
here. So I can really imagine back home as well. But the point I'm making is those are for the smaller nations who will back their countries through thick and thin. In the bigger nations with the bigger fan bases, with the bigger football nations, the way they're watching football now, and these younger generations anyway, is very different to how we watch it. Because Cahill loves Arsenal, he loves Thierry Henry, but when Henry left, he didn't follow Thierry Henry to Barcelona, he stayed at Arsenal. When
Ronaldo, I think it matters about
Beckham was my hero growing up. When he left, I was upset. And then followed to Real Madrid.
I'll say this to your point. I think I guess it depends on those countries and how much patriotism is built into that country's culture. So say you have a France and they've got a strong national pride that is passed down through generation to generation, even the young kids, they'll watch it. If it's like
South American countries will watch it, man, 100%.
Yeah, like South American,
country.
mad. Like Brazil, all of them countries,
Chile,
mad. Like so
countries, man.
It depends on how big that national pride or that patriotism is ingrained in the
it's
youth.
just an English thing, because like if you watch other leagues, right, they all respect the Europa League. Like if you watch Bundesliga teams, Italian teams, etc., they respect the Europa League. It's an English thing, man. We don't respect it because we think it's some shit trophy. But in other countries, they respect it and hold it in high regard.
Yeah.
So I think like Italians.
But those other countries don't win it though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though. Like what I'm saying is that them countries will have more respect for these competitions, like even Italy, like I've been to Italy, man, they're football crazy. Spain, flipping Germany, etc. Even if Muller's not playing or Gotzo, obviously not Gotzo, but you get the point, Cruz or whatnot. These mans aren't playing. Do you think the German fans aren't going to be watching the World Cup because they've got so much pride in the country? And I think even the English fans, because the England have actually still got a pretty good team, and I still would fancy them actually, even without the top six contribution, because we've still got Grealish and Calvert-Lewin up top, and I still fancy that. So English have still got an okay team to an extent. But listen, I just want to finish on the managers, and I need to go include myself because I need to open my fast. We'll carry on the convo tomorrow because there's so much to discuss. I want to finish on the managers because a lot of people, right, on every WhatsApp group I'm in are saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer during the Burnley game should have said X, Y, and Z. Tuchel, literally a couple of hours ago, should have said X, Y, and Z. So forth. You get the gist there. Shout out to Klopp. From what I'm aware of, again, I might be incorrect because obviously it's updated every hour, so to speak. From what I've seen, he's the only manager that's come out and spoken, genuinely, and so what he said was, basically, I'm not for it. I don't know if these are real quotes, but from what I've seen, Klopp's kind of, said, look, I don't stand against, I'm against the sort of the Super League, so to speak. It'll be interesting if they are true, and obviously what FSG do about that. But listen, I just want to get everyone's thoughts, obviously chime in, whoever fancies it. What are your thoughts on the manager's role in this situation? Do they have a say? Do you think managers can do more, or do you think it's just a matter of them keeping their jobs? If they speak out, they're going to lose their job, sort of thing.
If Klopp was serious about it, he'd resign.
100.
If he was serious about it, he'd resign.
Like Jose Mourinho. Is that what you're saying?
I agree with Kale. Yeah.
Kale is right.
What Kale says is right, because if Klopp retires, Bayern Munich are looking for a manager anyway, so it makes sense for him to retire and go to Bayern.
Or, finally come to West Ham, because we went in for him that first time.
Exactly.
He was taking
here's
a break
here's
from management.
Here's the thing about the current proper managers, especially at Arsenal, especially at Manchester United, especially at Chelsea. They are all very much yes men. You've seen it, and especially if you look at Arsenal, look at the way the Ozil situation has been treated. Arteta pretty much all said, no, it would have nothing to do with China, have nothing to do with outside influences. It's all down to me. I thought he wasn't good enough for the team. When everybody here knew that he wasn't, that he was good enough for the team.
Jason.
Low.
Jeez, come on.
Greedy people, greedy.
Chase, get back. I need to ask you one more thing. Chase. If Jay Ling secures the Champions League next season, as in wins the trophy, what are you saying?
Jay Ling for life. Do it.
Let's go. Jason, I've got my West Ham kit on. I'm sure you're proud.
Now put your pinky down, bro. You're not doing Rockstar. Just put your pinky down, bro. Put your pinky down.
Cahill, to add to your point, do you think these managers are yes men? Because let's be honest, Tuchel.
I don't think Tuchel is. I'm not gonna lie.
Arteta. Oh no.
Osman, he's a yes man.
No,
He's a yes man.
When I listened to what Tuchel said today, that was like the definition of yes man. When he said, "I have what the club gave me by my bedside table," that's BS. says that we all need to play your role. What that tells me is
he said something on the lines of, "I believe that Chelsea made the right decision." I'll stand by that.
He said no.
He trusts them to make the right decision.
No, he said he trusts them to make the right decision. But then he also said that one of the slogans was, everyone should play their own roles. And that it's a slogan that's by his bedside table. I don't believe that. So for me hearing that play your own role, that's just it's like a shop and just manage the team. And I think these managers
in the situation.
I think these managers like Tuchel and Arteta, they might be yes men, but like they know if they get sacked by Chelsea, if they get sacked by Arsenal, they're not getting a job at any other team in the Super League. They're not. So they have to agree with it.
They're just desperate to play in the Super League. They might as well come out and say we want to be in the Super League then, because they could get jobs elsewhere.
That's essentially what they're saying, though.
That's why Klopp can be a bit chesty with it, because Klopp knows
he's got money in the bank, innit, basically.
Exactly, but the thing is, I like what he said. He's come out. Apparently he said in the Sky Sports thing as well. He said, "Listen, obviously the players and I were not consulted." He was saying, he wants to stay in the Champions League. He's not really feeling this idea of the Super League. So listen, if you're not feeling that your club goes against everything that you fight for, or you're fighting for, or your players are fighting for, as Kel said, walk away. If you don't want any part of it, walk away. And if you join a club that says they want to be part of it too, bun them. That's how it, I mean, if you guys are really serious about being against this,
I think Man United should drop out and then get Klopp as manager. That's why I think now. Like, get Klopp walk away.
You can drink to the fuck Premier League. Come on now.
You want Liverpool sloppy seconds? Come on, that's some shame, man. Like you hate Liverpool, but you take their manager.
I'm desperate, man. Get Ollie out of here. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though. If they all duck and we stay, Ollie will win Premier League,
100%. He might win it this year.
If we say, you know what, Mondays, let's go back to Premier League.
Imagine Man United.
No, you can't come back to Premier League. You got to go to the conference. You got to start from the bottom and come.
You think you're Premier League are going to say, no, Manchester United, go to the conference? Are you mad? Come on now. It's all got money for them as well.
You have to.
Do you know what? Take you to the conference first, man.
So wait, what are you going to say? You're going to leave the Premier League, yeah? Then you're going to come back and say, sorry, Watford, Bournemouth, Watford. No, I'm saying if you get kicked out.
Oh, it's not kicked out.
In principle, you're right, but in the real world, that would not happen.
Absolutely.
If we were to get kicked out, we're Manchester United, brother. We'll come back in and walk it again, bro. Don't worry, bro.
We can do this. We can do this. It's true.
Nah, Manchester Red.
We're not going to get kicked out, man.
Man Red.
They should get kicked out. I agree with you, Lawrence. I agree with you. They should get kicked out, as should the other 5 teams, but it's not going to happen. I think the guys made the point earlier that it's not realistic. Which, to be honest, to kind of sort of to conclude, because I know literally everyone's got to bounce, everyone's got a show and whatnot. To conclude, it basically means the Premier League is going to be dead apart from winning the title and relegation. Everything else is void, basically. It means nothing. So that team.
I mean, it's kind of like that anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, but you still got top 4 to 5. You still got top 7. We're still talking about top 4 race. We're still.
Cahill, I know Arsenal are 10th and top 4 doesn't concern you. No, wait.
One of the most shameless clubs in the world.
No, I have to get this out because this is not a Cahill. This is like last night, like when this first came out, everyone was in unison. Bonders. Then I clocked. Arsenal fans clocked that they've been crap for time. They're gonna continue being crap because they have Arteta, but they can get away with it. And I'm just thinking, you man are shameless. So, like, just say you're shameless instead of lying to us.
I know. Don't try to play this out. Yeah, we're all in this together nonsense. Arsenal are lovely life. This is the get out of jail free card.
100%. 100%.
They said allow jail, go past go and collect 200 basically. In this case, it's 400 million. It is what it is. But listen, we're gonna wrap it there. Like I said, all the boys gotta go. Myself and Packer gotta open and fasten that. Just to say a massive thank you to our panel as always. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow. To be honest, we were going to do My United podcast, but no, what is the actual point? So we're going to do this part 2. We'll have more guests, obviously more perspectives, obviously get on those. But yeah, it's been your boy Usman. Check out the boys. The links down below. You know, we've got everyone here, so obviously the links will be down below. Apart from that, Jace is in the building as well. J Links FC, Baron Blue till I die. We're forever flowing. Bubble! Really bubble!